Hello everyone, welcome to ANS Academy. I'm Aditya Narayan Sharma. So this video is basically about the guides and tips you need to crack your ISI BSTAT or BMATH exam or your CMI entrance exam or for that fact any exam of that sort which relies on mathematical abilities that you have acquired let's say until class 12. So I have previously cracked this ISI BSTAT exam back in 2020 and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you what my routine was and what mistakes I also made some mistakes. So what mistakes did I make so that you should not make them. And we'll see that the most of the ISI papers that have come till date, like from let's say from 2015 to 2024, what are the common themes that keep appearing in that, and what do we need to do in order to succeed, and how you can utilize this channel in order to prepare for your 2025 at the time of recording this 2024. So what you can do and what you should not do. So we'll focus on that. So first of all, you should understand why you should listen to me. So let's go and see if I've actually cracked it or not. So here we are in the desktop screen. So if you search ISI BSTAT 2020 result, and you press on Google search. So this would basically give you this first link where Indian Statistical Institute has basically given you this merit list of Bachelor of Statistics honors. And this were all the people that qualified without basically interview. So that year, due to COVID, the cutoff was increased very high. So the cutoff was very high, and people had to get a certain score to get in directly. There was no interviews to do. So usually, what happens when interviews are there, the cutoff is set low, and the extra 30, 40 marks, 50 marks, whatever is required to get in, that is decided by the interview, but not in this case. So if you come down here and you see this one, this is me, number 48. So this was me basically. And the thing is, I can also show you the cutoffs and stuff. We can probably write ISI BSTAT 2020 uh, result, maybe cutoff, I guess. We can write cutoff. Yeah, so the cutoff was this. For UGA, it was 69 on 120. That's for another year. So let's go here. First round allocation. I think this is the same list. Anyway, so the cutoff was around 77.3, I think, for UGA. And if you calculate the total cutoff, it was, I think, 216 out of they calculate like 1 into UGA plus 3 into UGB, and they do it out of total marks. So it was 216, which is unusually high. Like it's usually between like 160 and 170. So a lot of people got in directly without the interview, and those were the only ones. So this list you see here, the list we saw in the first one, like here, this is the final list basically. No one else was added. So this 70, 12, 82, and then 92, and this 93. These 93 people were the only ones. Out of them, then there was like allocation list and stuff. So since I was at rank 48, so it wasn't really that hard to get in. I got in the first list. So that's how it works. Okay. So let's see. I have opened up questions. So this was my question for my year, UGA paper. And you can go through it. I will put links in the description for the UGA and also for the UGB. Right? Okay. So we'll discuss all that, but this video is not really about maths. So let's get back into the focus. So this video is basically about what to do and what not to do. So when I was preparing for the ISI examination back in 2020, I did not give the CMI one, but they're pretty similar. Actually, ISI and CMI are pretty similar in case of the entrance exams to undergraduate level. So I was already pretty good at maths. Okay, to be fair. So I did well in JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. I also qualified both of them. So since I was pretty good at maths and not really the J kind of maths, but more like the Olympiad kind of maths. So I was pretty good at solving, let's say, number theoretic problems, polynomial equations, applying logic to find these underlying ideas, knowing different theorems and when to apply them, like what to do with when a particular equation is given, which has integers in it. Do I need to factorize it? Do I need to look for different initial values and separate those cases? So there are like very minute logic details that you need to apply to solve this kind of problems, which is exactly what comes in ISI. So when you give the ISI UGB paper, the subjective questions are not what you expect from a 12th grader. It is meant for 12th graders, but it is not what you expect completely. Like if you give it to average 12th grader, he's like probably gonna get 2 out of 80. Okay, 8 questions and 10 marks for each. But so the fact remains that you have to really thoroughly practice and make your base strong. So if you are a student who has good command over class 12 maths, up to class 12 maths, but you have not really looked further into let's say Olympiad level maths or stuff like that, it is high time you should you should start doing that. And how to do that? Well, you have to go over the topics like number theory, algebra, combinatorics, and calculus is obviously there, differentiation and integration. And differentiation is mostly focused on in the ISA exam because well, integrals are very hard. So you cannot cross a certain level to give a problem which is hard in integration. It has to be within a certain level. But for differentiations, they are a bit creative. They can manipulate, they can make problem sums and stuff like that. So calculus is usually pretty hard in the ISI section and also in the CMI section. In the UGA part, objective part, and also in the subjective part, both of them. So what we need to do is, in order to prepare, we need to see the weightage. So the UGA paper is exactly like JEE Mains Plus, I would say. It's not JEE Mains, it's a bit harder than that, but it's JEE Mains Plus. And the topics are exactly as like of JEE Mains. And if you were to study everything that were in JEE Main, you would qualify the UGA paper, but you also need to study something like combinatorics and a little bit of inequalities, algebraic inequalities like AMGM, Cauchy scores, and stuff like that, folders and stuff like that. So if you were to do that every year, out of 120, the cutoff basically lies between let's say 65 to 80. Okay, so that's the range. And in ISI, you also get +1 mark for not attempting a question. That's really a very unique concept. They have been employing it for years. So you really need to use all these facts and make sure that UGA paper is qualified because if it isn't, then your UGB is not going to be checked. And that isn't good, right? So you're automatically disqualified if your UGA is not checked. So you must make sure that UGA is checked, and which is why the first focus should be to concentrate on UGA. Once you are comfortable with the UGA papers and you have solved past year papers, for JEE mains and this and other Olympiads like USMO, and then there are like NMTC and stuff like that. I'll put some links in the description for different Olympiads as well. Once you do that, you're ready for UGB. And now UGB is not really something one can guide you to, but you can say that if you solve RMO problems consistently, so the problems that will come in your UGB exam, except for the calculus ones, you can at least, you can at least expect to attempt each and every one of them, understand what they're saying, even progress through it. Whether you complete it or not, it's completely upon your own, and it will vary, from person to person. But that's the best you can do. That's the best you can try to do, right? So it's completely dependent on the exam. Like you get a question, it suddenly clicks and it's done. Otherwise, you have prepared hard, it doesn't click. That's okay. But what we need to do is we try our best. Okay, so this channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically provide you with all the contents that you need for ISI and CMI, and that would be general content. But also the specialities would be I would be solving and explaining the problems and solutions of previous year papers, previous year questions, how that can be modified to give in this year, what are the key concepts and key takeaways from such questions, and how they're used over and over in every year. So that is what basically we are going to do. Okay, so this has already been a pretty long video, I would say. So if you found this helpful, please do subscribe the channel and let me know in the comments actually. So for your own sake, like what do you actually want to learn in the future? Like what videos and what concepts do you think you're weak in? And you might, like I might that I have to give a video and that video should help you. That is my goal. And you means all of you. So that is what I'm asking you. What are the topics? What are the topics that I need to make videos on? And if you just say the topics, that is enough, but particular sums are also welcome. But what I will try to do in each of those videos is to explain the underlying concept so that you can apply it again. The most important thing is you apply it again. So that sum is gone. That sum is not going to come, right? The one you wanted to understand. But the concept from that sum, that is going to come again. 100%. And if you know that, you're going to solve every sum that comes like this. So that is what matters. Anyway, so thank you for watching and let me know in the comments, please. And also, please do subscribe.